am coming on today with my first solo podcast. I'll be doing more of these, talking about care, talking about health and wellness, and just overall entrepreneurship, mommyhood, and just different things. Because I feel like last year I did a lot of interviews, and people didn't really get to know me and what I do and who I am. So I just wanted to come on and just really reintroduce myself. So for those who don't know me, I'm a mom of three amazing boys, and I reside in Atlanta, Georgia. I am a healthcare entrepreneur. I have a home care agency where we send nurses and caregivers to take care of sick kids and adults. And I've been in home care since 2015. Right now, I'm on a journey of spiritual growth, financial growth, and just overall, just to become a hopreneur. And I heard that term on another fella's podcast the other day. And I was like, you know what? I really love the term hopreneur. But I came on today to talk about my experience this weekend. I had actually worked with a one-on-one senior care client, and I just had an epiphany while working with him. It was extremely difficult because I'm not used to being in the field. I'm not used to being a caregiver. But I wanted to, I kept getting the message that God told me, like, hey, I need you in the field more to really understand the logistics of what's happening and what's going on with the families and the caregivers. And it really opened my eyes to see that, for one, caregivers aren't being paid enough. For two, families, they just want a few different things from us as agency owners. They want us to be able to provide quality care. So the training needs to be there. So the guy that we had, he has Lewy body dementia, which is a disease where the brain is having abnormal deposits of a protein called alpha-synuclein. And so when it happens, they're losing the ability to walk. Their brain is not signaling different things that you tell this person to do this thing. It may take them a whole entire hour to do it. And this particular family still wants him to remain independent, but you have to kind of like walk with him and help him get up and stuff like that. And it was a lot. It was not only physically draining, it was mentally draining because you're constantly having to repeat yourself the entire time, and it's taking a whole hour to do one activity, such as get out of the bed or to go and take a wash up and get ready for breakfast. And every activity that person is doing takes time. So now that I kind of see what these caregivers are going through, it's like, oh my goodness, like we definitely need to pay more money. We definitely need to understand that you need to actually go in and work these cases or have someone in the field that can actually be, the trainer to match the proper caregivers. Because I think a lot of times we say we want more clients, we want more clients, we want more clients, but we are really not doing the things that to retain current clients and to retain our current caregivers, because we are not in alignment with what they really need in some ways. I'm not saying everybody, but I know that I've been out of touch with the caregiver side because I've been more focused on the nursing piece than the caregiver side. But there also is a big need for caregivers just as much as nursing care in the home as well. So kind of wanted to tap in this year on just the element of like, hey, what is it that we need to do as agency owners? What do we need to do as, leaders in, our homes and in this industry in order to make their people's lives better? Because a lot of times we're worried about a dollar when this is a thing where you have to really understand the care side. But that experience really woke me up, and I was like, wow, like we really have people's lives in our hand. And I think that is the main thing that we need to understand when it comes to caring for other people. First of all, you have to know your limits, and you have to also know when to bring in help, because like the daughter actually has cameras in the home, which I'm not opposed to a family having cameras in the home, because hey, that's their loved one. But like, okay, yes, no cameras in the bathroom where the caregiver is using the bathroom. But if it was my mother, I would have cameras in the home as well. Because you just want to make sure that that loved one is being taken care of properly. And of course, if that person falls, you kind of have a record of what time it happened and all those good things. So um, it was a very sobering experience. It was 2 12-hour shifts. And after the last shift, I was a bit traumatized. I'm not going to lie to you. So it definitely takes a special person and an experienced person to deal with certain type of patients. And you need to make sure we need to make sure that we're screening properly, and that the family is satisfied with the care. So that's one thing I want to bring to the forefront. I have partnered with a company called Care as One. They have a discount code. The Care Girl is the discount code for whoever wants to find caregivers. Any agencies that want to find good caregivers, go on Care as One. And for me, I just really didn't realize how physical the job is. And I believe what we need to be doing, we need to, for one, we need to be taking care of ourselves, um, as much as we are taking care of others. And I think that when you're working 12-hour shifts at the hospital, when you're taking care of a family, when you're trying to put in like working out, eating right, all those things with yourself, it's almost like you forget about yourself. And you forgetting about yourself is just, it's, you can't do that, because how can you really, really give to others and fulfill others' needs when you're at a deficit, right? So I think this year should be about, what can I do to feel better in order to show up as my full self? What can I do this year to take better care of me? Because without you, you can't do X, Y, and Z. So I think prioritization of rest, prioritization of, just really your spiritual health, and your peace, like what you watch, like less social media, less screen time. Like with my kids, like I'm trying to find different ways to like weed out more screen time, because at one point they were mostly like on technology because they love technology. But I noticed that when I take technology, that it was an issue and a problem. And it became more of an anger, versus like, and whenever we would do activities, they're like, okay, I'm done, can I get back on my technology device? Versus like using their left-sided brain and like actually creating that, creating being creative in doing stuff that little boys do outside. I know it's cold outside, but when it was cold outside, I went outside as a kid. So I think really just for me this year, I'm going to be talking more about that spiritual side, the health and wellness piece, and even bringing on guests, still bringing on guests as well. That is all centered around the holistic side of well-being. And also, of course, I'll still be talking about in-home care and agency stuff, and just overall like my journey through restarting my company, and me restarting my relationship with God, and understanding the having the patience and understanding that everything is gonna take time. So I just wanted to bring on this first episode. It's going to be short, not long. I just wanted to really talk about, what I saw. Another part that I saw when the daughter came in was that I believe she had to come help me put him into bed. And she came in and she put her hand on his walker and she said, "Dad, I'm tired." What are we exhausted from? What do we need to let go this year? Because it's a lot of things that we need to let go. Me seeing her, saying, "Dad, I'm tired." And what I did was I said, hey, sit down, you know. And she sat down and she actually like fell asleep on the couch within minutes. And I could tell she was exhausted. So I figured it out. I got dad in the bed and, he laid there and, he was all cute and stuff because people with dementia, they basically turn into like babies. Like they can't talk anymore. They can't use the bathroom by themselves anymore. It's just they turn into a baby. That's why I tell some people, I'm like, mom, dad, they're not the same. They're another version of themselves. So you still love them, but it's a little bit more difficult. So, when she woke up, she said, oh my gosh, you did everything. She had gotten to bed and all that. I'm like, yeah, I figured it out. And sometimes you do have to figure things out in life. And just sometimes the things that you can't control, you have to just let it go and really, they go let God. Like that's really a motto of mine now, because I think that we want to control every aspect of life, but we can't. And when you really, really understand, the aspect of faith and believing, you really move towards another element of hope. And we somewhere in between we stop hoping. Somewhere in the world there's somebody that doesn't have what you have, and there's bombs going off, and it's complete chaos. So I think that we should really, really understand that we are extremely blessed, and there is way more that could go wrong than that there is going wrong. So I just wanted to reintroduce myself. I'm Alexandra, the caregiver. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. If you want to start a home care agency, message me. I'll have my link to schedule a free call with me. I have a small VIP home care startup course going on this year. I want to help as many nurses or people that just care about others start their home care agencies. I'm limiting the group to 10 people. So, if you want to join that group, let me know, and we can get that going. And if you just, drop a comment below on anything that you would like to hear. Love to hear feedback on what you all would like to hear from me as well. And, um, Happy New Year. And we're on. Thanks for listening, and y'all have a good rest of the day.